Good morning, Grateful again. So today we move to unit 3. We are going to finish chapter 5. And that one, the title is Friendly Relations. Okay, in this part, you are going to make questions by yourself and based on the answer. In order to do that, you need to understand the conversation between Mr. Nick, Ratna, and Kim Se. Okay, they're talking something, and we have 8 questions that you're going to answer for me. So I'm going to read for you the conversation. Come on, have your book on page 32. Your book is 31. My book is 32. Come on, let's go together. Mr. Nick, yesterday we read about how some natural disasters are actually caused by people, like farmers in Nepal. Who do you think are responsible for them? Ratna, the whole society. Mr. Nick, not just the farmers? Ratna, no, they can't deal with them by themselves because they don't have the knowledge or education. Mr. Nick, right, but what about the farmers in Bangladesh? By the time the problems in Nepal have been solved, floods will have destroyed their farms. Boran, so the Bangladeshi farmers must be helped by their government. For example, they could help farmers build houses that float during a flood. Ratana, but that is not fair. Bora, why isn't it? Ratana, because if the floods come from Nepal, it must be the Nepalese government's responsibility. Mr. Nick, yes, but unfortunately, both countries are very poor. If Nepal doesn't even have enough money to help its own people, how can it give aid to Bangladesh? Kim said, it can't, but I read that when Mozambique suffer from floods, it is aid from rich countries. Mr. Nick, yes, friendly relations between all the countries in the world, both rich and poor, must be established. Because actually we all depend on each other. Kim said, but some countries think of each other as the enemies. Then, when governments want to be friendly, the people think that it's some kind of defeat. Mr. Nick, yeah, but by the time the need for national and international cooperation has been fully realized, our attitudes and feelings will also have changed. Okay, so I read it for you already, so you can read yourself. And the next step, you are going to answer the question from 1 to 8. This one not a question because it actually question and answers is in it already. Look at number 1. So you have to put down just the questions, how you make the questions. Here, look at the answer guide. Because the floods that destroy their farms come from Nepal. So the question is that, why did Mr. Nick blah blah blah? So it means you find out what is the next words or phrases that should be put to have a complete questions that make sure that the question is exactly is showed about the answers that written down, because the floods that destroy their farms come from Nepal. Okay, so make one example. See the example. So the example number 1 is that it is why did Mr. Nick ask? You put down the verb ask. about farmers in Bangladesh. Okay, why did he ask about that? Because the flood that destroyed their farms come from Nepal. Okay, so the flood from Bangladesh is destroy Nepal. Okay, the question number one I put it for you. So you need to have to do. You write down the date, the title, and read the conversation, and make the question by yourself. You just write to me with the question and answer. Okay, with the question and answer, the full questions and the full answer, because answer is already answered. You just copy them down into your notebook. Okay, so hope you enjoyed it. So have fun. See you next time. Good luck.